This evening on Nationwide, milestone anniversaries for 3 Irish men, and all of them with a love of music. And in Waterford, special events to mark the bicentenary of William Vincent Wallace, the composer of Maher-Walsh and The Desert Flower. We're off to Waterford now, where they're celebrating the 200th anniversary of the birth of the composer William Vincent Wallace. And Damien Tiernan brings us this report on how the city is keeping the Wallace memory alive.
Children from 14 Waterford primary schools getting ready for what promises to be a superb night of musical entertainment in the Cathedral on Barnstrand Street in Waterford. All are here to recreate a concert which took place at the exact same location in 1969, and all in honour of the musical genius of William Vincent Wallace, who was born 200 years ago this month in Waterford and is one of the greatest composers this country has ever produced.
What prompted me to initiate the idea was my brother and sister sang in the 1969 concert, and I remember my mother playing the piano and my brother and sister singing the music, and I just was enchanted by the melodies. And I have a thing about children's voices. I just love children's chorus. I'm not a choir mistress or anything, but I just love children singing.
And do you think Wallace's music works very well with children?
Yeah, people have said to us, how did you get them to learn it? Opera music, you know. But I never thought of it like that. I just thought of melodies.
He has absolutely beautiful music. That was the strange thing, actually. Speaking to colleagues and friends, and said, William Vincent Wallace, never heard of him. And yet when I hummed a few songs, oh yes, I heard that one. And so they did know, or they'd heard the music without necessarily knowing who had composed it.
And then the children get into position. And the recitals begin of some of Wallace's best work, including parts of his most famous opera, Maher-Walsh. And fade then to black and white in the 1969 concert with Stanley Boyer, Brendan Boyer's father, with the Waterford Orchestra Society and choir of 350 children. And children who've never sung opera before say they really enjoyed tonight's experience. What's nice about it?
It's just that it has its own kind of, like, you know, its own air to it. Makes it like sound a lot different to others, you know.
And had you ever heard of Wallace before?
Wallace, no, not until the concert, no.
We had to work very, very hard on the songs and concentrate a lot.
And what sort of songs are they?
They're sort of opera songs.
And what do you think of opera?
Okay.
What's so special about Wallace?
Well, you see, Wallace was an extraordinary person. First of all, he was extremely talented. There's no doubt about that. And then, of course, on top of that, he was such an adventurous traveller that, he hit the headlines in his time everywhere he went, all over the world. And the papers adored him. They were always following him and seeing what he was doing next. And he was able to play all the instruments, because as a child with his father's military brass band, he learned to play all those instruments. Then he was a virtuoso on the violin and the piano.
Wallace is remembered at various locations around Waterford city centre. He wrote what are known as ballad operas, in that they are sung in English and not Italian.
Wallace's work is absolutely superb. He should never have been lost. He was premiered at Covent Garden. Some of the works went touring. A lot of choral societies took a lot of Maher-Walsh right up to the Second World War.
The experience of Wallace through the years, his music has been used from time to time, but it could fade. So this is going to make sure that the next generation has this experience and can carry it on.
What do you like about Wallace?
His tunefulness. He was a superstar of his age. Okay, people might say that's a little bit dated now, but in his time he created some of the most beautiful melodies within opera, and we're talking about ballad opera times. So it was expected that it was song-like rather than complicated aria, and they went on to become some of the most well-known parlour songs of the day. And it's hoped tonight's event will help the next generation carry the torch of Wallace's work for many years to come.
And that story about William Vincent Wallace brings our programme to an end for this evening. So, from the village of Ballinamuck, where the Irish forces under General Humbert surrendered to Lord Cornwallis, bringing the 1798 rising to an end, it's time for me to wish you good night. Ó bhéile an na muiche mar sin, i ó agribh.